Today I was with a group of people and we were just talking about something, and I went to we were tidying up something, and I went to get rid of something to throw a mirror or something away, and they all said, "No, don't do that. You'll have 7 years bad luck if you throw a mirror away or if you break a mirror," which I don't believe in, obviously. Um, but it was like the whole consternation of a group of people that, oh, you can't, this superstition, or if you I don't know, if you see a magpie or get married on Friday the 13th, it's going to bring bad luck, or don't book a holiday on Friday the 13th, or it's going to be unlucky. And I just thought it was interesting, all of these unwritten or maybe written superstitions that people place so much faith in Ireland. And yet if you said, look, an abortion is going to bring you bad luck, they wouldn't believe you. Or if you said, if you support abortion or vote for abortion, it's going to bring you bad luck. Oh no, that wouldn't bring you bad luck. Now, killing another human being in the womb, that doesn't bring bad luck. But breaking a mirror will bring you 7 years bad luck. And I was just there thinking, isn't it amazing what we focus on and put our faith in? And yet, when it comes to what is actually real, true and sacred, we discard. I mean, we see this with the right to life, the value of a human being, a precious human being with unique DNA. We never say it's bad luck to have an abortion. In fact, what was it? Over 1.5 million people went out and voted for it in Ireland. And then they celebrated in Dublin Castle. Nobody said it's bad luck. Human beings, getting rid of them, voting for it, euthanasia, abortion. No, that doesn't bring bad luck. It's only human beings. But God forbid we break a mirror, because that'll bring you 7 years bad luck, or do something on Friday the 13th. I mean, I think it's bonkers. But if you bring it back to the faith, years ago, we would have held the Eucharist, the Mass, the sacrifice of the Mass, as incredibly sacred, as a sacred moment in which the Son is offered to the Father, in which we consecrated the body, blood, soul and divinity of the second person of the Holy Trinity, where the bread became the actual body, blood of our Lord Jesus Christ. We held this as sacred. We held it with respect. If a priest was bringing the Eucharist to somebody sick, you'd have a candle lit, you'd genuflect, you would show respect for our Lord. And then all of a sudden, over the last, since Vatican II, let's face it, since Vatican II, since the tens and tens of thousands of priests left the priesthood in the 70s, since Vatican II, we've decided, well, do you know what, this thing about the Eucharist being so sacred and so important, is it really, or is it not? Because, we're very blasé today, and we might go to Mass, or I might not go into Mass, and it's, depends on what's going on. If there's a month's mind Mass, I might go to it, or when it comes to the Eucharist, oh well, look, is the priest the minister of the Eucharist? Well, look, he's done enough. Poor Father, he's been on his feast all during the Mass. Now you sit down, Father, and let's let the laity get out the Eucharist. We'll get it out quickly. We'll put 10 Eucharistic ministers out in a little church. We'll have it out in 30 seconds. We'll get it done and quickly. And that thing about kneeling for the Eucharist, to receive the Eucharist, that's old-fashioned. We don't do that anymore. And putting it on your tongue, now, God forbid, we don't put Eucharist on our tongues anymore. It's on the books that that the universal norm of the Catholic Church is in the Roman Rite, is to receive the Eucharist on the tongue. It's on the books, but in Ireland, this old thing about Eucharistic reverence, we don't respect. But if it comes to breaking a mirror, oh, that'll bring you 7 years bad luck, or voting for abortion or supporting abortion. Oh, that's, that won't bring you bad luck. We don't talk about that. That's, we celebrate stuff like this. We've got our values upside down in the world, and we have our values upside down in the church. And we can see this. I put a post up there yesterday about the Novus Ordo. People were slating me, the comments came in, the emails came in. The point I was making is, let's not divide ourselves as Catholics. Let's know the faith, teach the faith. And this is where I go back. And I'm going to say one thing about the traditional movement. The traditional movement get this extremely right. The SSPX, they get this right, is education, education. especially our children, to be educated in the faith. The traditional Catholics educate their children in the faith. They bring them to prayer. They understand the faith. I mean, there's no perfect group that gets it 100% right. But, when we see we don't educate our kids in the faith today, and then we're scratching our head, well, why aren't our kids not interested? Because we don't spend time with them in the faith. We don't bring them to faith communities, summer camps, weekends, retreats, prayer groups. We don't involve them. It's not involved. We don't teach them. And then our kids grow up believing the nonsense of superstitions of Friday the 13th and the magpies and the umbrellas and God knows what we do. Not breaking mirrors and all these, the fairy trees, and not cutting down a fairy tree in maize and things. These people will really believe in them, and they won't do it. But when it comes to abortion, that's not bad luck. That's not bad luck. Not going to mass, that's not bad luck. That won't. Forgetting that, your eternal salvation is at stake. I know it's the new mode in the church after Vatican II to say hell does not exist. But hell does exist. You can decide, I don't want to know God. I don't want to serve God. And I don't want to understand what is his purpose for me in my life. You can reject God. And people do reject God. You can eternally lose your salvation if you don't believe in what God is asking us to do. And I know many people don't, think, us Catholics, we're crazy. You're believing in superstitions, Robert. This thing about the Eucharist, it's a piece of bread. Heaven doesn't exist. What are you on about? Because people say these things. But no, I actually do believe in my Catholic faith. I actually do believe, and I actually do believe that abortion, abortion doesn't only bring bad luck, it destroys a human being. It destroys a child, a son or a daughter that could have changed this world, and it will echo into eternity. What we do in this life echoes into eternity. It's called sin, and at some stage, we have to make reparation for this. Breaking a mirror. It's amazing how many. I'd say if it came to choosing between breaking or mirror or voting for abortion, people would prefer to vote for abortion than to stand over these nonsense superstitions, which is very, very sad. Anyway, pray for this generation. We need to return to what is beautiful and sacred in our liturgy, in our church. We need to educate people on the faith. But it's a strange time in society that we will hold more faith in a superstition than in our Catholic faith, because so many people haven't been catechized. They don't know what the Catholic faith is. They don't know. They'll go to I saw an article today about this couple that gave 10,000 to a medium because he said their dead father told him that they needed to give him 10,000. It's amazing how these psychics and mediums, they can't predict the future of the stock market, or they don't, but they know where to get the money, don't they? So, and people are so gullible. I think, us Irish, sometimes we're so gullible to the superstitious, and yet when it comes to what really matters, human life, the majority will just, let them have their abortion. An abortion isn't, it's just a clump of cells. We don't say this about the mirror, the magpie, or the stuff that we make up, putting crosses on breads and God knows what superstitions are, hawthorn trees or fairy trees and fairy forts and God knows what we believe in as superstitions. But but no, abortion now, having one, that's not going to bring you bad luck. What's it going to bring you? Good luck, fulfillment. You destroy a child for what? But these are strange times in this world. Anyway, renew the faith, know the faith, renew the sacred in the church. Make our liturgies reverent, live the faith. But I think it's bizarre that we hold more faith in superstitions in Ireland today than in the Eucharist, which is a reality. This is the truth. Irish hold more faith in superstitions and in these modern dogmas of so-called rites to destroy a child. We believe more in these so-called rites to destroy a child and so-called modern superstitions and dogmas than we do in the Catholic faith. Sad. God bless you. Take care. Bye bye.